It feels like every deli is against me at this point, and I don't know what to do about it. Yo, what's up, and welcome back. Yes, back to Angel's Reach. Of course, as always, I'm Angel, and today I wanted to add a little part two to the video not too long ago about my bacon, egg, and cheese rant. Because I did not actually go and get a bacon, egg, and cheese to break the curse, actually, but not too long ago, coming back from the dispensary, because I used cash, I had some change, and I decided to buy milk because I drink a lot of milk, and it's really bad, actually. I'm like too much protein, I'm pretty sure. And you would think that's like a cool muscle good thing, but like I don't like work out enough to the point where like those that protein is like really going anywhere to muscle. So like I'm just like bigger, I guess. But bigger chunks or chigger bunks? Okay, wait. I gotta stop getting distracted. I came back from the dispensary and I used cash, so I had some change on me. So I was like, I'm just gonna go buy some milk. Now, listen, the prices of milk, the prices of milk, it's usually one. I gotta chill out. The price of milk has gone up, and normally, that's fine because inflation and stuff. You got to take that into account. Milk used to be like 4.50 a gallon. At least that's what I used to remember, like in like elementary school, like when I was in fourth grade, say 2000, let's say circa 2008, something like that. That's probably way off, but whatever. Yeah, that's what I remember, like milk prices being 4.50, and now it's upward. Now it's gone up like a whole dollar, 5.50. You might pay $6 at some places, so like whatever. But I went to the same to a deli I go to all the time to get sandwiches, or breakfast sandwiches specifically, because every other deli has it out for me and are overcharging me for stuff. So I have to stop going places. There's one place that charged me like $12 for like a sandwich, and I was like, "Are we kidding here? Like, it's not even like on a." It's not even on a hero, and it's not even like on some like chicken cutlet timing. You know what I mean? It's some straight. All right, whatever, cool. I paid it. I took that L, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna burn this place down. And then another deli I went to with my cousin. I went to go grab like a small bag of chips, and he was like, I gave him $2, like expecting 50 back, and he was like 2.50, and I was like, okay, you're good. Like I put it back. Like I just can't do it, bro. But because I was out of the dispensary and I was high and I was already kind of like awkward and mouth breathing at this point, I felt like I had a hat on. If you know, you know. Because I'm actually, it's a nice little segue. I'm actually smoking this Ruby Farms 1 gram. I think it's an indica sativa hybrid, or it's an indica hybrid. Um, yeah, super dope. I actually was losing my appetite and was uh, almost going through like hunger withdrawal. Actually, I was just hungry. I don't know. I was like trying to make a whole thing out of it. Check the tea out. It got a what's it called? Um, oh wait, is the stain go? Oh no, right here. I got a stain on it, a little blue pool cue stain, courtesy of a friend of mine. He said, if you're watching this, I would drag this out forever. Nah, I really don't care. This is like I got this like at Primark for like $7. Super dope shirt. Anyways, dope strain. I don't actually know which strain I got. I just know it was like an indica hybrid one. So dope. Dope cannabis, dope company, love Ruby Farm, super dope. Love travel agency, dispensary I went to. Love Twisted Vibration, another dispensary I went to. They're doing some cool stuff in March. But what's it called? Yeah. So I went to this place, I went to this deli, and I went to go get milk. And he said there was this. It was really sweet, actually. There was this woman and her kid in front of me, and they were. I think they bought like Takis and like a Pepsi or something like that, like a Coke, and then she paid the guy, and then her change was 50 cents, and then with that 50 cents, she bought like a little gummy hamburger, and then he gave her one for free for the kid, and I was like, oh, that's really sweet. And then the dude like looked up and smiled at me, and I was like, yeah, it's a nice little wholesome moment. I smiled back, and the woman like turned around because she I guess she's like saw that he was smiling at something, and he was like, oh, who's he smiling at? And then she saw me and was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, take your time. It's all right. I'm not in a rush. Have a good one, And so like after that, she gave the little girl the candy, and then they like walked out, and I was like, I was in a good mood. I was smiling. I was like already off the indica cart, and so I was like really feeling like pretty good. And so I actually, even before I got online, when I first got to the milk, the first gallon of milk there was expired. It was like Best by March 3rd, and I was like, it's March 3rd, so I can't, do that. And so the one behind it was like Best by March 10th, and I was like, that's a week I can deal with that. Is there anything like maybe like the 14th or the 17th sort of the situation, maybe a little bit more time? And I don't know who I'm joking. I'll finish that gallon in like 5 days, but like I'd like it to appear fresh. I don't know. But I don't know if you get what I mean. But I'm certainly not drinking anything Best Buy last week. Um, so I grabbed the second gallon. I saw it said March 10th, and I was like, "Can I see anything further?" I grabbed the third gallon. The third gallon also said March 10th, and I was like, "I'm not gonna do a whole song and dance and put up a lot of hoopla about this. I'm just gonna take this third gallon and go." And so I think he saw me doing that and was like, "What is he doing? Like grabbing different gallons?" And I think that's my idea. That's in my head. I'm under the impression that that's what he saw, and like he has like bad connotation. Like he made a bad assumption about me off that or something like that, because I've never seen this guy there before. I've gone to that deli before, and that's where I get like breakfast sandwiches and stuff for my sister and I. My sister and I, not really my brother. I go to a different place for that. But yeah, so like I'm pretty sure he saw that and was like, I got put on his bad side or something, because as soon as I got up there and the two people in front of me were done, um, I put the gallon up on the counter. I was like, "How much, boss?" And he was like, $7, and I was like, I was like $7, and he's like $7, and I was like, bro, I just like jumped through hoops to fucking get this gallon, and now I'm gonna have to overpay 150 for it. Like you're actually out of your mind. I don't know if I'd like do now. And so like, but I was too uncomfortable and like awkward to like after all that. I was like having a nice little moment of him smiling at him, and like he gave like the free little gummy away. I was like, oh man, this guy's a good guy. And then all of a sudden he's gonna overcharge me 150 for the gallon of milk, and I was like, dude, come on, man. And I would have just walked to not another deli, but like I would have walked to like a supermarket that's near my house and like bought a gallon of milk there, and then but they would have charged me 25 cents for the bag, which is annoying, and I don't want to carry a gallon of milk. Like I mean, you just look weird carrying a gallon of milk out in public. You know what I mean? I mean, you just do. I'm sorry. Like I mean, no one's looking at the gallon of milk, but they are. Like they are. That first second they see someone whacking what? Christopher whacking, walking with a gallon of milk, they're gonna be like, "Why is he holding a gallon of milk?" They're like, okay, whatever. So I was like, I'm not gonna go to the supermarket because it's past my house. Like this is like the deli was on the way from the train station to my house, like after the dispensary. And I was like, dude, come on, bro. I'm not gonna go through this inconvenience. So I was just like, fine, whatever. I'm gonna overpay the 150 for the milk, but I'm never gonna come here again in my life, and I'm never going there again. And it just made me realize that I have like so many delis that I swear I'm not going to because they like overcharge me for stuff. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong, dude? And like I live around here. I'm like a native New Yorker. Like, do I give off like scammable vibes? Like, I know I do, because like I look like you could. I was gonna say I look like you could take advantage of me. What? I look like you can like scam me. I think I don't know. I think I look like nice and kind and like ignorant and dumb. I think because like a lot of homeless and crazy people come up to me and like ask for money and stuff, and like a lot of times I give them to them, and I get scammed out of like carnival. I get scammed by carnies and stuff all the time. Like when carnivals are in town and stuff, I pay like $20 for like some fucking rigged game and get like a 2 cent plushie out of it. Like, anyways, that was my hold up a little sip of this mysterious potion. But yeah, that just got me thinking that every deli around me just like hates me and like wants to overcharge me and stuff. So it's got me in my bag. So despite that being absolutely depressing and sad for my mental being, I also kind of wanted to end the video. Well, that's all actually. I kind of just wanted to talk about that because like the overpaying for milk, and then I just been realizing everything has been like crazy. In terms of like price wise. But I wanted to say that, and I also wanted to mention two comedians because I've been what's it called? I've been trying to get back into comedy and stuff like that, tuning into more like comedic podcasts like Matt Matt McCusker and Shane Gillis have a podcast together. Mark Norman and Joe List have a podcast together. Mark Norman and Sam Moreau have one together. I'd like to tap into like Whiskey Ginger and stuff like that again because I used to listen to them back in when I had a cleaning gig in like a salon. I used to just drink and listen to that and just laugh my ass off and clean it. Um, but yeah, I wanted to tap more into that, but I wanted to recommend two comedians actually because man, I love comedy, so I love laughing so much, and I love making people laugh so much. So when I want to go to like a comedy show or something like that one of these days, but I wanted to recommend two comedians. The first one being Ruby Setnick. I think she's like in her early 20s. Um, Ruby Setnik, super super funny, like a lot of self-deprecating humor, which I think is super dope. A lot of like um uh a lot of like mental illness jokes and stuff that like I can relate to and get behind, so that's also super dope. And I think that's always super funny when people can pull off self-deprecating stuff because like otherwise it just comes off corny, I think, sometimes. So it's really hard to get that formula right of like making fun of yourself in like a witty way or like a quick um sort of intelligent way, you know what I mean? She's super duper funny, and like I would really recommend checking out her comedy. I think she's doing like a tour right now. I know she was just in Chicago or something like that. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but yeah. But then so yeah, she's super talented. I recommend checking out some of her comedy, and also I recommend this other younger dude. I think he just turned 18 or something like that. On some Epstein shit. Tarang Hardikar, an Indian comic, Tarang and Hardikar. Yeah, yeah. I was about to say Haradikar. What? No. Tarang Hardikar. Italian. No, Indian comic. So, so funny and so young too. It's ridiculous. I remember like he posted a story and he was like, oh, like 18th birthday soon. And I'm like, what? I've been following you for like months and you're like only 17 and like you're this funny. He has a lot of like awkward and observational comedy and like very much so uh he's such a presence on stage whenever I see him like performing. And oh my gosh, what language do Indian people speak? Hindi, I think. Oh my gosh, I think so. I don't know, I'm probably getting that wrong, but when I see him on stage and he performs in English but speaks like but slips in a couple Hindi words and stuff, and it's like super entertaining to see like the audience catch that can understand him, because I'm just like left at a loss. But I like regardless with the context of like what he's doing, he plays a lot with his hands. Like he's very like antsy on stage and super like very much so plays into like the awkward teenager sort of delivery, and it's very funny. He's super super great at playing like awkward and also like confused. He plays like a very irritated, confused, like ignorant sort of kid essentially, which I mean he is like he's like an 18-year-old kid, so he doesn't have much experience and stuff. But a lot of his comedy comes from like observational everyday stuff, like overthinking that or like a lot of his comedy comes from overthinking everyday things like handshakes and like dogs and NASA, like simple ideas like that, like the concept of like hand signals, like which hands being like peace and victory and or like okay and stuff like that. Like simple stuff like that. Like I remember commenting on one of his bye. Sorry, my sister's leaving. I actually have to leave too, but we're leaving that in because we don't edit around here. We don't edit around here. I just wanted an excuse to shake my hair because it looked like it was staying still for too long. I kind of wanted to dry out with volume. What you know about that? What you know about me? What you know about? What you know about? Okay. Yeah. Tarang Hardikar, super super funny young comic from India. Ruby Setnik, amazing female comic, just absolutely stellar work from both of them. I follow both of them on Instagram. I recommend you do the same, and also check out their stuff, their material on like I know Tarang has the stuff on YouTube. I don't know about Ruby. I check out most of her stuff on her Instagram, like her reels and stuff like that. She posts a fair amount of her stand up there, so I should probably check out her stuff on YouTube too, if there is, or if there's any way to check out her stuff. I really recommend it. I really, really, like I said, love comedy. I guess I could sort of segue this really quickly into a conversation about my comedy background before I gotta end things off. Sort of to make up for like the last video, because I swear, dude, I feel like record so much, but I really don't upload. I want to upload like twice a week, maybe even 3 times a week, but like I don't know if I can get that much recording done depending on like what I have to talk about and inspiration, whatever. But I am really into comedy. I feel like ever since I was young, the best feeling for me was making people laugh, or specifically laughing. That was the best feeling. So like surrounding myself around people who would laugh and who would like try to make me laugh and stuff like that. That was the best thing ever. And so even when I was younger, I knew like I want to make people laugh, and so I like even bought joke books and like looked online and stuff, and like anytime anyone said anything funny, I was like, I gotta keep that in the bank. Like I have to use that later. I would steal so many jokes. I like actually my comedic journey was like a lot of like finding stuff out online, um like my I actually and like just like should like my comedy was shaped a lot by like home and stuff like that. Like unfortunately, my dad was like didn't understand too much English, so it was just like the basic raunchy and like physical humor that would make my dad laugh a lot. Like Jeff Dunham, I remember being like watching a lot of when I was a kid. Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy. I remember watching a lot of that because he would slip some Spanish in. George Lopez, I would watch specifically the George Lopez show, like late at night. I would watch with like my siblings, but also just in general. Some specials my dad would throw on and stuff, and you know, you just love that he was Mexican and would bring that up all the time. And so and Eugenio Derbez or something like that, another Spanish comedian, legend, like Chavo. Also I would watch El Chavo del Ocho. My mom would watch a ton of, and my mom would just be so weak watching like their physical humor, and like they'd be like boom, and just I remember just being like, it's so ridiculous and laughing, and I was like, oh, this is why it's funny, you know what I mean? Because I was pretty young, but I was also young enough to be like, oh, this isn't like this isn't like joke funny. This is like, oh, you see something that's funny that happens, and I was like, oh, okay, so there's different types of comedy, and I really started appreciating different things like that. Like, yeah, what the hell? I just turned into fucking an old McDonald's song. E-I-E-I-O. What? Um, no, I also remember getting into Bo Burnham at a probably too young of an age, and I was uh what's it called? Just like going into that and having that shift basically my opinions and like getting me into like a really depressive state. I remember when Inside dropped, man, like that changed my dude, I was fucking crying my eyes out. Like it came out during a really dark time for me, and I was just fucking bawling my eyes out. I remember my homie came over, and like I forgot we had plans, and or I didn't forget we had plans. I knew we had plans, we were supposed to hang out, and he came over, and like he saw like that, I had red eyes and stuff, and he was like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I was just watching this really depressing Netflix special. You want to watch?" And he's like, "Nah, if you say it's depressing, kind of not really, not right now, not that vibe." And I was like, "You know what? You're right. Yeah." And so that kind of lifted up my spirits and got me out of that vibe. But yeah, Bo Burnham, super sick comedian that I got into early on, and then probably more like New York based comics as I got older, Mark Norman, Joe List, Sam Merrill, like I listed. And then like really like online people, like Schultz and stuff. I'm not like tapped in, but like I know about like the podcast world and stuff, and like a lot of those comedians I'll like see clips of. Like I was like in like a Rogan Theo Vaughn rabbit hole for like a while. Like I would just drink a couple beers, put on a drive in American Truck Sim, and just throw on a Theo Vaughn or Joe Rogan podcast and just see what crazy fucking guests they had on and what they would talk about and shit. And it'd be super dope, and that would be just my weekend. um, but yeah. Super love comedians, and I really appreciate all types of comedy and appreciate like even like jugglers and stuff like that, like entertainers, throwing in comedy into their sets and stuff like that. Like dude, mimes are so fucking funny. You know what I mean? Like it's so incredible what you can get away with, or what you can get away with so little, I guess is what I want to say. Like there's so many layers to comedy and stuff, and so many levels to being funny, and like yeah. I kind of like wear my inspirations on my sleeve, at least for the most part when it turns to comedy. The biggest example outside of like the Bill Burnham stuff and me trying to like be a musician and try to be reflective and try to be funny and like sad and realistic at the same time. Like I took that straight from Will Bo kind of helped me realize that I could, you know, have a little bit more personality than just being someone funny, which is kind of what I did. Like all I knew is comedy, and all I knew is being a funny person. And then after a while, I kind of lost my identity, and then yeah, that was pretty bad. You know, when all you are is a clown, you know what I mean? And you have no audience, you know, are you really a clown? You know what I mean? So that was super bad because like I lost my audience in 2020 and I didn't know how to be funny anymore. And like I was like, am I even funny? Is that who I am? And then that was super dope because then I just realized I'm more than that. And but the biggest inspiration on my sleeve that I wore specifically for like comedy and stuff like that, I mean, like, is Filthy Frank. I mean, anybody with a brain that's around me could tell you that like I was super inspired by Joji's like split personality sort of, or characters he would play, not split personality, let me stop, man. And like the different characters he would play. Like I think Pink Album is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's this stupid, dark, raunchy comedic rap album that is like really bad, like terrible songs that have like hidden gems every once in a while. And um yeah, any one of my friends would tell you that like I like would that I put the dude like on a pedestal. Yeah, and I love this comedy. I love this vocal. Like you know, I love like the character Frank and how raunchy his voice was and stuff like that. And I love the comedic style. I love how crazy he was. I love the music he put out. Like everything about the dude, I wanted to encapsulate. And I thought, frankly, like after like the first couple of years of high school, I like was basing my life on. And like after like halfway into middle school, my brother first showed me Frank. I was like, this is who like I kind of want to be. I want to be like this funny, crazy character that just like makes people laugh, who like has these weird connections and has musical abilities and just has like all this lore and story. And like I was like, that's so cool. And like I put Frank on a pedestal. And like I got older and more videos released, and like the stories got more complex and the comedy got funnier and dirtier and raunchier and raunchy. I'm using that like crazy. Raunchy, word of the day, vocab word of the day, meaning like that nasty, like disgusting, decroded sort of thing. Decroded, another good word. Shout out NL. But yeah. Comedy is super important to me. Always has been. I've always wore my inspirations on my sleeve. I've always stolen jokes. I've workshop bits both on my own and other comedians bits on like my friends and stuff. And like also like I'll do stand up in the mirror for myself. I'll talk to myself all the time, but like I'll try to make myself laugh. And sometimes, man, I'm pretty funny, man. Like, I mean, if you know me, maybe you think I'm funny, but I would like to think so. But I mean, sometimes I have like really golden moments, and it's just like at home. It's, I mean, out in public too. Oh my god, my friend Angel was smashing it the other day with the jokes. He felt unstoppable. He had one bad one after like a ton of good ones. So like it gets to your head. It gets to your head. But yeah, man. Comedy. All my friends are super fucking funny. The funniest people I know are my friends, like both online and offline friends. Like so, like I like to surround myself with funny people. That's not all they are. They're super sweethearts as well. They're great friends, amazing, super there for me, very present, very much so. I put them on pedestals as well. I mean, my friends are like the greatest people of all time. You know what I mean? It's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to say that. They're fantastic people. They're amazing people. The best people I've ever met. The best people you'll ever meet, basically. And they're more than just being funny. But am I? That's the question. Yes, I am. I mean, like, let's not get into it here. I mean, what are you, my therapist? Or what are you, my psychiatrist? Are you going to prescribe me something? What are you, pill brain? What are you, pilled? What? Red pill, blue pill? Let's get out of here before I start going on more tangents about stuff that I can't control. Okay. Uh, yeah, no, just a reminder to laugh more, dude. You know, make people laugh more, laugh yourself more, let yourself bring your shoulders down. My shoulders weren't upper tense or anything, so I tried lowering them and I just looked like I shrugged or just got shot from behind. Back shots. Yo, chill. Okay, whatever. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell and stuff so that you're notified whenever I upload. Also, make sure you have YouTube notifications on so that YouTube can actually notify you instead of YouTube getting a silent notification on the app when you open it. Because at that point, what's the point, man? Like, you know, this is you and me here. Like, forget everybody else. Like it's just you and me. Subscribers 0813. Like, bro, you and me are locked in, bro. You know what I mean? Okay. I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work. Okay. Yeah. Laugh more, make others laugh more. It's such an amazing It's such an amazing part of life to laugh, you know. Yeah. If things are looking bad, I'm sorry. Laughter is not the best medicine. You just can't laugh it off. But I mean, dude, I've been in some pretty shitty moods, and a fucking good joke has, like made me laugh. Dude, a good joke will have you thinking about it the rest of the day. Sometimes I'll go around my day and I'll be like, chicken sandwich. You know what I mean? Like, if a joke is that good, it'll stick with you, you know? Isai and chicken sandwiches. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.